Hello, my name is Stefan Kaunzinger. I am responsible here at ROWE for chemical technical products, specifically additive aerosols. And today we are here at the workshop of Gökay Kandirik in Herzogenaurach to thoroughly test and evaluate our additive product solutions. We have different vehicles here, and Alex will now explain to you all the details of what we are going to do.
Yes, as already mentioned, I am Alexander. I work in product management and I'm also a technical trainer. From a technical standpoint, I remain skeptical about additives as we consistently represent our product exceptionally well. But I'm definitely open to being convinced today. As Stefan noted, we've brought several test vehicles along. We will thoroughly evaluate everything here and take you along so you can see it all live and also witness the results.
Exactly, we will take them to the workshop for the test drives. We'll show you the oil both before and afterward. Let's see what works and what can be achieved. We are more than happy to show you all of it. And now, let's get started. And first, I'll convince him here that everything works exactly as we say it does. The additives team. Perfect, then come along. Let's go. We are at 1.5 RPM and accelerating now.
So, einmal Begrenzer.
And release the throttle.
Und runtertouren lassen.
Today, we are here at the fuel station showcasing our fuel system Cleaner Ultra. We have our test vehicle here with us. We've fully drained the fuel tank completely. Now we will add the additive to the tank before refueling. We will take you along with us for this. Today we are back in the workshop, where we will proceed with performing an oil change process on our test vehicle. Before we proceed, we will first perform a comprehensive analysis and assessment of the current oil overall condition, after which we will proceed to add the engine cleaner. This means, first of all, we will immediately pull out the dipstick, then carefully evaluate the oil quality and its current condition. Check the oil color to thoroughly assess its current condition. Then pour in the engine cleaner and let the engine run for a short while. Such a can here is sufficient for an oil volume of up to 5 liters. And after that, we will perform an oil change. Then, we will take you along again to show you the result of it. We will now pull the dipstick once again and carefully examine the outcome after the additive has taken its full effect. Yes, and as you can already see here, it's quite clear that the oil was a nice golden color before, and now a significant amount of dirt has definitely been dissolved, which we will definitely flush out during the oil change. Now, before we proceed with the oil change, we'll take another detailed look to thoroughly check the condition of the cylinders and pistons inside. Here, we already took a look yesterday. We can still observe some slight corrosion residues quite clearly and distinctly visible on the surface. They were significantly worse, as the comparison shows. It's already had a strong positive impact. Now we take a look at what the oil change brings. We are now almost done with our oil change. As you can see, we are currently filling in the fresh new oil. For this purpose, we have brought along our 2125 Multisynth DPF, which carries the correct Volkswagen approval for this vehicle here. We will now take you on a short test drive, then we'll see what the popometer says and provide you with some feedback on how everything feels and what the result is. We have successfully completed the oil change. Beforehand, we cleaned the engine with a specialized additive and changed the old oil for optimal performance. We previously utilized a fuel additive over a span of 400 kilometers. We are now proceeding with our performance test run to assess if there have been any noticeable changes. We'll listen to our popometer for a moment. We'll now proceed with our test run and go ahead with the process. Whoever doesn't deceive me with the popometer definitely feels faster. We'll of course observe this immediately in our test results from the Ensoric unit, which we mounted at the rear of the wheel. But from a first impression, I can say as a layperson and as a technician in the oil sector that the responsiveness during initial acceleration definitely feels a bit more dynamic and noticeably sharper right from the start. But in the lower range, delivering power feels noticeably more responsive and sharper. And as Stefan has already clearly emphasized, I'm inherently quite a cautious and skeptical individual, especially because the car was in very good overall condition during the inventory, but still. You definitely notice a difference here. So, I actually wouldn't have thought that, and I'm very impressed. So after we measured the compression during the initial assessment, then added the oil additives specifically designed for the engine flush into our used oil, and afterward drove a brief test route once again to evaluate the results. To work effectively, we conducted another compression test before moving forward with the oil change. When we now carefully examine the results, we can observe in the assessment that the cylinders all appear relatively okay, but cylinder 4, with a reading of 13.4, clearly stands out from the rest of the group. After the application, with the same oil still in the engine, but with the additive that has taken effect and already cleaned the engine in the initial moment, you can clearly observe a noticeable difference right away, that the compression is now more balanced. This means that with balanced compression, we achieve greater engine smoothness and stability. Additionally, we previously had a total compression of 12.7, now it's 12.73, indicating a slight increase in pressure. The overall compression doesn't change significantly. However, we previously had a maximum variation between the individual cylinders of 1.1. Now we are only at 0.4, meaning we were able to reduce the difference by nearly 50%, which ultimately results in a noticeably smoother and more stable idle at the end of the day. We now observe significantly improved gas acceptance behavior following the application, and ultimately, after performing an oil change, we conducted another comprehensive compression test for verification, to observe the effects that our ROWE engine oil actually achieves. Here we can clearly observe that in the most recent test, the final cylinders were elevated to an enhanced level of compression, which ultimately demonstrates the significant and measurable impact achieved through the definitive oil change process. That a genuine change has occurred here and the engine can now run noticeably smoother than before. Here we have our test vehicle, where we conducted the trials for our fuel additive product. We measured the vehicle in the initial test with 109 horsepower and 170 Newton meters. And indeed, we were able to achieve an additional performance of 5 horsepower. So we are at 114 horsepower according to our measurement after our second measurement. And at 182 Newton meters of torque, this means we have successfully achieved a performance increase of 5 horsepower and gained an additional nearly 12 Newton meters of torque overall. Means the performance is officially approved, and we can now confidently proceed to take the product to market for you, and you can order it soon on our website. Alex, now I know, as the technician, you were initially somewhat skeptical about it. Yes, well, naturally. As a technician, you're always a bit skeptical, especially with our product manager, when it comes to adding additives again. But now, after we've applied everything and already seen the initial results, I must say I'm genuinely impressed. Even though the engine was already quite clean beforehand, we still managed to achieve even more. With the oil changes now, what we've been able to extract from that was truly remarkable and definitely noteworthy. When you have this level of advanced technology in a can, you naturally achieve corresponding results, so that when people apply it, they see, as you said, tangible, measurable, and highly effective outcomes. They notice something, they feel something. Naturally, skepticism is always high, but there are also differences from additive to additive to additive. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here today testing everything live, to witness the final outcome firsthand. And I must say, even though I approached it with skepticism, it truly won me over, and the results clearly speak for themselves.